Well, Jenny, you could tell us something more about the distillery you work for.
Yeah, no problem. So I work for Ireland's first craft distillery, GLENDALOUGH Distillery. So GLENDALOUGH is actually known as the Valley of Two Lakes. I was in this restaurant the other day in Bulgaria, my first night, and there was a little blurb on the top of the menu, and it said, "Monasteries are always placed in the most beautiful places."
Ooh.
And when I read that, I was like, okay, this is GLENDALOUGH. It's not Bulgaria. So it's interesting.
Okay. So it's not your first time in Bulgaria, or it is the first
This
time?
is my first time in Bulgaria, yeah.
How do you find our country?
To be honest, I've found the people to be really, really warm and friendly. I got a taxi ride home the other night, and the taxi driver started singing the Beatles to me because he goes, "You speak English? I sing the Beatles." I was like, perfect.
Perfect. Well, this is a whiskey.
Yep.
So tell us more about Irish whiskey. What makes this one different than the others?
Yep. So the thing with Irish whiskey is people always know it to be triple distilled, very light, very fruity, very fresh. And that's what all of the big companies are doing, this triple distilled, even a pot still whiskey. But what we do is always something different. That's our tagline. We want to stand apart. So we double distill, we don't chill filter it either. And these are also single malts.
Single malt. Yeah, it's recognizable by the color, right?
Exactly. So from the 50 to 80% of it, actually, you get the color and also the taste. It comes from the cask. So these are ex-wild turkey casks, and they're aged for a 7-year
Yeah.
and 13 years.
Huh?
So vanilla flavors in it,
Yeah.
and in Irish we say sláinte,
Sláinte.
which is to your health, and it's cheers.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Okay, sláinte. Strong one.
It is strong.
What is the degree? How many degrees?
46%.
46.
46, exactly.
Oh.
So this one, you're actually getting kind of nice dark chocolate notes from it, creme brulee, a little bit of cinnamon, and it's quite spicy.
Uh-huh.
And it isn't too overpowering. It isn't something that's going to be very robust and tingling, and that's why you double distill, because when you triple distill, it makes it smoother. But this gives that nice little kind of taste in your mouth that you get.
Sure. Another question, because I'm not a whiskey drinker, I prefer gin.
Gin.
Yeah. Tell us
Gin.
more about the gin. you
Gin,
make.
the gin we make is actually my personal favorite. So we make a wild seasonal gin. So it changes per season. So we have spring, summer, autumn, winter. And because of the weather in Ireland, sometimes we find it difficult to get a bottle out, because in winter we could only actually make 500 bottles because the weather was so bad. And if you get a bottle of our seasonal gin, consider yourself very lucky, because there's only 3,000 bottles per season made.
Oh, it's very like a boutique, like a limited edition.
Exactly. So what we do is we have one person, Geraldine. She forages. So GLENDALOUGH is also known as the Garden of Ireland. So she goes out and she forages and she picks the different ingredients. She uses scissors. She never pulls from the root because she needs it to grow for next year's gin.
Right.
So what she does is she collects all the ingredients, from gorse to cran apples to wild raspberries, wild mint, all these different botanicals. And she puts it into the still, and it macerates overnight. So then when Rowdy, our still man, turns on the still, nothing is ever automated. It's all very craft. So we don't use a timer. We do everything by smell, by taste. So the taste profile actually changes every minute. So when he needs to turn it for it to go into tails, he's always tasting, he's always smelling. So he knows exactly what our gin should taste like. So for example, our summer gin this year doesn't necessarily taste like our summer gin last year, because everything is hand-picked. There's a recipe,
Yeah.
but there's no quantities. We're putting it in. We're just trying to make something beautiful and something great, and that's what makes us different. That's what makes us craft. And as far as I know, we're the only distillery that makes a gin that is wild, with wild, fresh ingredients, and that's what makes us stand apart. That's what makes us different.
Yeah, the technique is very natural.
Exactly. So it's all these organic things that are just growing wild that are available in GLENDALOUGH. So because Ireland, it's not the most exotic location, to put it lightly, but when you know the land like the way Geraldine does, she can find flavors like coconut, like chili, all of these things that you expect to find in Southeast Asia. She can find all these ingredients right here in GLENDALOUGH, and that's what makes it special.
A question that comes in my mind: what is the difference between the summer gin For example, autumn.
So autumn, it's a lot of dark fruits in autumn because
Okay.
they will just have bloomed, whereas summer is more floral because the fruits haven't started growing yet. So in autumn we've got all these really nice dark fruits, whereas summer is kind of, you've got those kind of like floral botanical flowers that are going to like a lot of gorse in it, whereas autumn has wild raspberries in it, it has the mint in it, it's a lot kind of a little bit more spicy. So we've got summer for fruits and those kind of fruity flavors against the kind of spice, which is a little bit more warming. So you could put it into a really nice gin punch, like a warm gin punch, get ready for Christmas time.
For cocktails,
Exactly.
it's a very good combination actually.
Yeah.
In Bulgaria, it's popular to drink gin fizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, gin with
But
soda.
gin is just so popular at the moment, and especially people are looking at different garnishes. So we recommend rosemary and pink grapefruit to go with it, and a really nice bulbous glass. And you don't even need to go into like a really difficult cocktail and mix it to disguise the flavors, because this is one of those gins that even if you have it neat with even with a little bit of ice, you can smell the botanicals, you can smell the different fresh flavors in it, and it tastes really, really nice just on its own. We don't need anything fancy to mask the flavors.
What kind of snack or food we can combine this drink?
Well, because gin is quite, it depends which one. So if you're going for a summery one, you'd go for like nice kind of fruits with it, or anything kind of summery, like a salad, anything that's light and fresh that will complement it.
That's true. Thank you very much, and we're waiting for the summer. Very, how can I say, impassionate.
Perfect. Impatient. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.